miss the old web filled with uber personalized, super cracked out websites, or were you like me and you were only able to hit the very tail end of MySpace on its way out the door? Well, technically I could have experienced MySpace, and I did get to watch people experience MySpace. Like, I just wasn't allowed to personally use it. I had stricter rules than some of the people in my life, which was probably a good thing. Having unsupervised access to the internet probably wouldn't have been that great, and I did have it as I got older. Anyways, I have always loved the idea of the old internet. I was a self-proclaimed emo scene kid with big bangs and band t-shirts. Even though I wasn't able to participate in this era of the internet, I do have a lot of nostalgia for it, or more so like a craving and a need to live it. Then comes a little video on my recommended feed by Randymoon where I discovered Neocities, which is a awesome website, honestly. It is filled to the brim of people's personal spaces, just never-ending canvases that people have created. I totally recommend, if you ever get the chance, to scroll through and click on as many websites as possible and see what people have to offer and get inspiration for yourself. Because when I did, I instantly fell in love with the idea of making my own space. I had a need to create and bring my ideas to life, and coding was my new canvas, but it turns out that coding's kind of hard. With basically no coding skills, I started from scratch and made my own website, and I learned a whole bunch of new skills, and it was super fun. So let's take you on a tour. This is my landing page. This is the first thing you see when you visit my site. Currently I kind of feel like it's a little bit cluttered, but almost in a homey way. I have an about me section with my current favorites and my forever favorites. I have a little trinkets section where I keep pictures of my cats and blinkies, because blinkies are fun. I just wanted to have a little section for them. I also hope to have a scrapbooking section here in the future. I think that'll be a lot of fun to like update people on what I've been doing in the last month, 6 months, whatever part of my life, and also just to be able to have a place to look back on those memories. I have my welcome, which is just about the site and how it's a never-ending project. That's something that I really love about the indie web, is that a lot of sites are just always under construction and always changing with how people are changing. Down here is my recent updates. It's more like a blog section, and I hope to actually have interesting things here sometime, commentary on books that I'm currently reading or movies I'm currently watching or TV shows. For right now, it's just mostly test blogs. One thing that I do really like about the indie web is digital neighbors. It's a really easy way to get around the web and find new websites. There's a lot of people who also use web rings. I'm not currently part of any community or web ring or anything like that. These are just some sites that I really like and have helped me experience the indie web and learn how to be on it. I also have a changelog, but there's not really anything other than I finished it after a couple of months working on it, just because it's a lot of work to update every line of code you do. I wasn't going to do that, but now that my website is actually finished, or like the base of it is ready, I'm going to actually be updating it every time I update. It's obviously been a minute. Then I have my most recently played on my Last FM, which is just a fun way to share your music. One thing that I do feel, even though I just finished this website, is the need to change things up and fix things, which kind of makes me happy because I know that this place is going to be ever growing and evolving, and it's really refreshing to just always have something to work on. Next is my portfolio page, which was actually the very first thing I finished because I had the strongest ideas for this section. Around every line of code was a problem that needed to be solved, which was a lot of fun. But a lot of it also honestly had to do with the fact that I was too scared to use JavaScript. With my portfolio page, I tried going the easy route by coding the tabs through HTML and CSS only, and it did not work. It wasn't easy. So I did end up having to bite the bullet on using JavaScript for my portfolio page for changing these so you could swap between those easily and have a scrolling bar through everything. But it didn't quite come out the way that I wanted it to, because I wanted it to be a specific style. I just wasn't able to. I didn't have the skill to do it. My biggest lesson during this web making experience was honestly on this page, and it was don't take the easy way out. Once you learn this skill, you'll have it in your arsenal for the future for other projects. So I don't know why I was so afraid of using JavaScript. It's just so intimidating, you know? And I also need it for a future project that I'm planning anyway, so I'm super glad that I at least started, and I wish that I had used more on the rest of my pages. Next is my resources page. My personal favorite part of making my own website was doing various assets for around the site. During this whole fiasco, I was doing a 30-day art challenge for digital art, and I had a lot of fun using my practice drawings and turning them into stickers and washi tapes and general decor for my website. Some of the things I made you can actually find on this page and use for your own websites if you'd like. I also put a link to people who have great resources for learning how to make your own website too. Google and YouTube and fellow web makers really have your back if you decide to make your own. The last page on my website is still under construction, but it is the project that I'm most excited about. It's the one that's going to require me using JavaScript and Three.js, which I don't really know much about, so I'm super excited to get into that and 3D modeling for hopefully a future video. The absolute best part about discovering the indie web is the amount of inspiration it brought to me. There's just something really missing from the way the internet works as a whole today. I've never really felt a lot of inspiration from just endlessly scrolling on social media, but this whole experience, even though it was kind of hard and I had to learn a lot and it took forever, it took me like months to make this website. It really fed my creative demons, and I can't wait to create more pages for this website, as well as change and update existing things as I grow and change as a person. I really hope that more people can find the inspiration that I have from the indie web, and hopefully I will see you over there.